Yes. Welcome back to We Are the South Stand. And today is match day. The Premier League is back. Sorry, I've got to put this comment up straight away. Thanks for letting us know, Brandon. We're watching the nude. It's so warm. Welcome to We Are the South Stand. People, we have a new sponsor. It is official. Just here. Where are we? Just here. £15 a shirt, people. If you need football shirts, and I don't just mean this season's football shirts. I mean previous season's football shirts. I mean concept football shirts, European, international, everything. Any football shirt, head over to www.okjerseys.com. £15 a shirt. Say no more. Right. Welcome, everyone. MCFC, I see you in the chat already. I don't know even who you're arguing with at this point. It must be someone in the comments, I presume. Listen, we're going to talk on the Wolves game. I've got Patrick with me. He is currently a little box just here. He will soon be a lot bigger box next to me. He's just driving home from work. Martin should be with us as well. We're just waiting to hear from him, but he should be with us also. Yeah, Martin should be on the show. That isn't Martin next to me. That's Patrick, but Martin will be joining us shortly, hopefully. He might be a little bit busy because I know he's going to the game today, but he said he was free between 10:30 and 11:30. Right, people. There seems to be a bit of a confusion. Perfect. Here we go. Let me just rearrange this. How can we rearrange this? If I do it like this, edit it, make me, do you know what? If I make me smaller, make you the same. Oh no, you look better than me. Hold on. Bear with me, people. There we go. Hey, that'll do. We'll do it like that for once. Bit different, but hey. Hey, man.
All good, mate. All good. What's going on?
It's over. All good. Yeah. Right. Going to talk on this Ederson thing. I'm as baffled as everyone else. So Pep is right. So we've got certain journalists telling us that City are in for Donnarumma, that Donnarumma wants City. That City, even as I've seen City apparently have spoke with Donnarumma, spoke with PSG. But we're then hearing that yesterday, I think in Pep's press conference, something got said and people have just presumed that Ederson was out injured. Now, from what I've seen, Ederson, there was nothing to suggest Ederson was injured. However, we have now heard this morning that City have received a bid for Ederson of around about 10 million euros. City's stance seemed to be that they don't want to sell Ederson, but if they get a bid that's high enough and Ederson wants to go, they'll let him go. Is that pretty much where you think we are with it? It's just
Just like most transfers, mate. I think sooner or later they'll meet in the middle. We'll have a value. They'll have a value.
Do you think Ederson's going?
Sorry, cut out there a minute, mate. Do I think what?
Do you think Ederson's going?
Yeah, I do.
I
do. There's you can't have smoke without fire. And right now, I think it's pretty much almost ablaze. So
I think the fact that he hasn't signed the contract as well suggests to me that he's quite keen on the move. Otherwise, I'm sure he would have signed the contract. So the fact he hasn't signed the contract, I don't know. I think he's going personally. I do think he's going.
Yeah.
I think Ederson wants more money. I think from what I've seen, by the way, and listen, I'm here with all other fans. I haven't been told. In fact, I tell a lie. I did get told something. I got told something on Thursday. I got told on Thursday to sit that Ederson leaving is looking very likely. And JMCFC, that was from someone at the club, someone that I'm pretty certain you speak with as well, actually. But I got told that Ederson is likely to leave. Yesterday, I believe Pep has said that Savio is injured, but I don't believe he said that Ederson was injured. I think there's this myth that he said that. And people are just presuming that he's injured. But I've also seen this morning that apparently Trafford will be starting today. So
I think that is the right option, given the fact that I think Pep's sort of between a rock and a hard place with how he has to explain what Savio and Ederson are doing.
Yeah.
Whether that's his fault, I don't know. Whether it's the club's fault, who knows? But at the end of the day, you can't really let on too much, and particularly someone like Daniel Levy, when it comes to Savio, you want to keep your cards close to your chest. And, you know, if we're going to continue rejecting bids that they put in, then, you know, we just have to try and, you know, keep up appearances basically and still make it out like he's a possibility of playing, or injuries make everything that whatever media outlet asks questions about certain players, injuries can sort of shut that down straight away, regardless of whether there's any truth through it or not. So it's just, I think it's just a nice little white lie that Pep tells just to appease, just to keep people at bay, asking too many questions. So we're okay with it. Sometimes a white lie is a good thing.
Just to be clear, though, I don't believe Pep said yesterday that Ederson was injured, right? I think Pep said that Savio, well, I know from listening to it, Pep said that Savio was injured, and people are just, I think Ederson's just being thrown in there. Someone saying Ederson was training, but has not travelled. So, JMCFC, you are doing a lot of fighting for Ederson when I don't feel there's any fighting at this point, bro, because I've got your email earlier and you mentioned about all this hate and lies on Ederson. I don't think, well, certainly from my point of view in this channel, there's no hate going towards Ederson and there's no lies. I'm trying to actually understand what's going on, to be frank with you. But I think it is looking, bro, like, you know, if Ederson hasn't travelled today, and again, we won't know until the squad is announced, but if Ederson doesn't travel, then there's a lot of legs to this. It's now being reported this morning from, in fact, I'll tell you who was reported about the bids, right? And then we can decide if we trust him or not. Bear with me. The bid, where are we? City Extra. Was it City Extra? I saw it on. Breaking. Galatasaray have sent an opening official bid in the region of 10 million for Ederson. That's from Fabrizio Romano, bro. There we go. I mean, it's up to you if you want to believe Fabrizio Romano or not, but Fabrizio Romano has reported this morning that a bid of 10 million is coming for Ederson. I do hear what you're saying, though, that from the minute the Donnarumma thing started, I felt like there was an agenda. However, I'll be honest with you, with Fabrizio Romano, you don't really see that as much with him. You don't. Like when Fabrizio reports things, usually within a couple of hours, it's confirmed as being correct. So I don't know, man. I don't know. I think there is a bid for him from Galatasaray. I personally think, right, what has happened over the last, unfortunately, what has happened over the last week or two, well, last week, has probably pretty much convinced Ederson. I think Ederson beforehand might have been thinking, Trafford coming in is the writing on the wall. I think probably these links to Donnarumma, if you're Ederson, even if these links to Donnarumma aren't true, if you're Ederson, your nose is going to be put out, isn't it? Massively. And then if Galatasaray do come in with a bid and are offering you more money than you currently are on at City, then, you know, if you're Ederson, you're probably going to take it.
The only thing,
and by the way, let me be clear. I'm not on the I want Donnarumma bandwagon. I'm happy with James Trafford and Ederson. I've been saying this for weeks. More than happy with that.
Same.
But I certainly do think with everything going on at the moment, it's probably best that Ederson doesn't play today and Trafford does play today. I think Ederson's head's going to be all over the gaff at this point. I mean, Trafford's head might be all over the gaff at this point as well. How do you feel on that, actually? We haven't spoke on that. How do you feel on Donnarumma?
I've had a good think about it over the last day or two, and I'm more of the thought that, yes, very, very good shot stopper, arguably one of the best in the world right now. But unless there's a different manager, unless there's another manager whose name isn't Pep Guardiola at Manchester City, then I don't necessarily really want to see like a shot stopper. I still need someone who is great with their feet and good enough to a point of where we're actually willing to compromise a little bit of the shot stopping ability so that they can be a fantastic goalkeeper from playing out the back. I know for a long time, a lot of people were very much on the Chevalier bandwagon, and a couple of other keepers I can't really remember right now who are better known, have a better reputation for playing with their feet and things like that.
Yeah.
But Donnarumma, it's like, yes, the name is very sexy. It's very, it's very in fashion at the moment, winning the French treble and, champions of Europe and everything like that. But it just goes against everything that we think of a goalkeeper when it's Pep Guardiola as manager. So it's very confusing for me. It's somewhat contradicting in a way. I'm still trying to kind of wrap my head around it. I don't know what the intentions are of the club, if it's going to be a Donnarumma and Trafford 1A, 1B, whichever way you want to look at it, because how they're going to be utilised, which would be very interesting, because Donnarumma's rumoured salary is going to demand that he plays as much game time as possible. But then we all know the reason Trafford came in is because he's got the ambitions to want to become the number one sooner rather than later. I mean, you see how ambitious and how focused the kid is. I mean, he truly believes in what he says. So I do hope that he gets the opportunities that are given to him. I hope Donnarumma doesn't necessarily block him in a way, but at the same time, it is going to be nice knowing that you've got to keep in between the sticks that's on levels with, like a Courtois or Jan Oblak, from some of those seasons where their respective clubs went deep in European competitions as well. So I'm very contradicted about it because it goes against everything that I've known as a goalkeeper under Pep for 9 years. But at the same time, too, the name itself is very, very appealing.
This is it. Joe Hart, you'll be thinking, hold on a second, why couldn't? But I mean, look, the whole thing is this. There's so many different narratives you could go with. You could go with that maybe the thought of bringing Donnarumma is because the next manager might not play the same as Pep, right? And so why miss out on a world-class goalkeeper if there's concerns that maybe Pep might go in a year or two? So yeah, I don't know, man. Like I said, for me, if I'm going to look at this as a Manchester City fan for a second, yeah, not a player fan. Look, this doesn't change anything. We love Ederson, right? We love Ederson. We love everything Ederson has done over the last 8-9 years. And for me, I'd be happy if Ederson stays for this season, and I'd be very happy if Ederson and Trafford battle it out. But what a beautiful place for us to be in, knowing that if Ederson does go, we've got Donnarumma coming in. right?
Yeah, of course.
That is a great place to be, because then if we do have Trafford and Donnarumma, then we do have the best of both worlds, right? The same, like we've got an unbelievable, proven mentality monster of a goalkeeper and shot stopper. We've also got kind of a young lad that's got his whole career ahead of him that also is a great shot stopper from what we see, unproven, but a great shot stopper from what we see, and very, very good with his feet. So I think to have both of them would be wicked. Of course, if Donnarumma does come in, does Trafford then ask for a transfer request? Maybe, but I don't think so. I really don't. Look, in a season time, 2 seasons time, maybe. I don't think Trafford straight away. I think if Trafford was to hand in a transfer request the minute Donnarumma arrives, then I think it would be, all right, well, maybe his mentality isn't as good as we thought, right? If he backs himself as much as he does, I think he'll go. I'll give it at least 1 season of battling it out with this guy. So, not a bad place to be in for me. Now, the one thing we do know is, so let's move on from Donnarumma.
I just wanted to quickly add something too about Ederson, by the way, as well.
Yeah.
Is we all know what sort of character Ederson is. He's very unique. He can be very random in the way he does things, and we love him for it because he's offered us some great entertainment and some wonderful memories as a player in that too. And I always believe that there's every chance that Ederson is that sort of player that at the very last minute, the 11th hour, he can turn around and say, "Oh, the club's just offered me 150K a week, 200K a week. I'm going to stay." But I personally believe it's too far gone for that now.
Yeah.
But at the other end of the spectrum too, is I personally think Ederson, I think he has, since the treble, I think in his mind, he's been at a point where it's like, where do I go from here? I've finished. I've completed what I set out to do when I came here in 2017. I can't take it any further. This is my legacy. I would like to move on. And I think personally for him, I think it's always been a sense of, that's it. I've completed everything I could complete at this club. Now, sooner or later, I'm going to have to go do another project.
I agree with you. It does feel like with Eddie that he loves City, right? But it does feel like he's not really 100% in his head. And I think all these rumours don't help. I think last summer, right, Ederson was nowhere near as linked away from our club as many, many players are. But it seems to just stick for longer with him, right? And it seems like he's really caught between two minds of wanting to stay at City and wanting to go somewhere else. But I think that probably does match Ederson's personality, that he is, wears his heart on his sleeve, loves the club, probably feels comfortable at the club, knows everyone at the club, in his safe place, and to leave is probably a bit of a scary thing for him. But I think he probably also does want another challenge at this point. Right, people, 244 of you in here, and the likes are on 97. Not bad. But listen, just by me asking you now, quick call to action. I guarantee you can get them way over 100 into the 150 mark. Please, everyone, make sure you are smashing that like button. And, of course, make sure you are checking out our new sponsor, okjerseys.com. Honestly, go on there. You're going to see me wearing a lot over the next coming days and weeks and months. They've got some unbelievable City merch on there, so go and check it out, please. Right, the one thing we do know is Savio will not be playing today, right? So he said that Savio's injured. Do you think Savio's injured? Apparently, he's got an injury from the Palermo game, but I didn't see any sort of injury in the Palermo game. No. I'm not gonna lie to you.
I do remember seeing some of the Palermo game. He was kind of just like not holding his leg, but it almost looked like he was inspecting his leg. But that was a leg that he's always had that slight little problematic knee that goes all the way back to his days in Brazil. So if that's flared up again, if that's an issue, then whatever. But I'm sure we would have heard something by now. There's no way. Tottenham would be coming back with a third bid if they found out he was injured again. We'd be in a situation again like it would be with Leroy Sané.
And from what I've heard, again, JMCFC, I feel like I need to prove myself with everything I say now. I did not see Ederson's agents land, and I haven't, been out for dinner with them. But from what we are being told, Savio's agents are in the country. They've flown over here because he's keen on the move. Apparently, it is him that is keen on the move. Manchester City's stance is 80 million euros, please. Will we get it? I don't know. I can't lie, right? I was convinced that this would not happen. I just have a feeling that Levy will not go up to what we want. But from what I'm reading, they want him badly.
Yeah.
They want Savio really, really, really badly. I think it's the wages. I think the wages are right up Levy's, right kind of up Levy's street.
Well, I mean, if he's willing to go for a third bid and then go close to what we value him at that £70 million mark, then it just shows Levy's intentions. Like, he wants a quote unquote Son Heung-min replacement, and they see Savio as the best option for that. It works for them because they have a considerably lower wage bill than other top 6 clubs. So that 40k, they'd only have to probably boost it up to maybe 50, 60, 70k, and that'll be enough for him. And then knowing Spurs, if anybody else goes for him, I'm sure they'll be Daniel Levy will be able to work his way into be able to sell him on for a profit sometime in the future. So I think they have intentions of keeping this guy for a long time, though.
Yeah. I mean, it's
unless he absolutely blows up, like he goes like proper like prime Son Heung-min or anything like that, then they he'll be their intention is to keep him there for a long time.
I would imagine that's probably how Savio is seeing it as well. That if he goes to Spurs, he's going to be a starter on the left hand side. He's going to be a starter, and I guess I always say that. Probably not fair to say this, but I always do feel with like Brazilian players that if they come to the Premier League before they've they're often seeing it as a stepping stone in their ideal world
the rest of Europe,
to Real Madrid. I mean, he's already been in La Liga, to be fair, but that was part of City Football Group. I do feel like if he goes Spurs, he's going to have that left-hand side, right? Important in a World Cup year. I do think it's difficult to break into that Brazilian team, but if he goes to Spurs, lights it up, playing on the left-hand side week in, week out, I think as well, by the way, if we do... So from what I've seen, they initially offered 50 million euros. We said no. They've come back apparently with 70 million euros, I've seen reported, right? And we've still said no.
We rejected 70 million euro. We value him at somewhere around about the 70 million pound region. So there's still, by our estimations, there's still about 5 to 10 million euros off.
But that's doable. Or the jump from 50 to 70 from Spurs shocked me. I think that shows me how much they want him, because I was expecting them to come back with 55 euros, right? 55 million, not going straight back in with 70 million. That makes me think, okay, and they have said we will be back in with another bid. So for me, I think this one gets done, which I'm shocked about. Like, I really was. I thought there's more chance of Ederson leaving and Donnarumma coming in than there was Savio leaving and Rodrigo coming in. But the other one is...
We all know why we want it to happen for that exact reason.
Yeah. Oh, and that's why City are probably saying, do you know what, 80 million. And at this point, it probably is a case of we're not that far away now with Spurs, because it's just probably the structure of the payments.
Yeah,
really.
And if you look at it this way, I think it just on paper, like just initially look on first glance, it does look like very, very good business from Viana. You're basically saying that you've taken a player who's only been at the club for a year, had about 10 goal involvements across all competitions, and now him plus half of James McAtee's transfer fee is going to bring in one of the best quote unquote wingers / forwards in world football in the form of Rodrigo.
Yeah.
I think it's scary. It's scary good business, and I'm not going to say Cheeky wouldn't be capable to do it, but I don't think he would have done it in this sort of aggressive manner. Yeah,
I think it's very, very clear, right? For me, I mean, we don't know how much Viana was involved in the January transfer window, right? But ultimately, the January transfer window didn't really involve any sales. It just involved. But at the moment, from the business that Viana is doing, he is shrewd as hell. He really, really is.
I said it since he came in, Daps. I said it since he came in and said, you've got to remember his experience coming through from Sporting Club de Portugal. That Portuguese league is absolutely ruthless. And I'm not just talking about the big three clubs, your Benficas, Portos, and Sporting. I'm talking the slightly smaller clubs like your Bragas, just to name one, Vitória Guimarães and that. It's a very, very fierce and competitive market. And the way it works there is that you're expected to spin gold with straw. Like you've got to find these absolute quality. It's basically like hyper scouting. They use so much scouting in South America and the smaller leagues across Europe looking for the next big young player with projected, anticipated or projected figures to become a great player, so that not only can they become successful in that league, continue money coming through and being successful in Portugal and that too, but then the big kicker is obviously they make their money from how they sell those players on. You look at Benfica, look at the money that they got from Darwin Núñez. You look at the money they got for Enzo Fernandez. Benfica is probably the forefront of those big three clubs in Portugal. Porto and Sporting are not too far behind. But it just shows that as a sporting director for those clubs, you've got to have something about you. You've got to be very, very shrewd. You've got to be very aggressive in the market. You've got to be very savvy with your cash flow as well. And I think with Viana coming in as well here is that he's going to continue being the sort of operations or sporting director that he already was at Sporting Club de Portugal. But he's now got, quote unquote, and I hate this, it's a cliche, but he's got a bigger war chest. He's going to look at this like as if he hasn't just been given a Ferrari, he's been given the whole fucking dealership. Yeah. And he can drive any car he wants whenever he wants, basically.
Yeah. The other one is the Rico Lewis one. And I've seen someone say Rico's not going anywhere, but trust me, from what I'm hearing, Rico's very keen on this move. I'm not sure how. I mean, I had a phone call with Wolfie yesterday, who's a Nottingham Forest fan, and he was saying to me, "What do you think of him?" I said, "Look, I've been so consistent with my view on Rico Lewis. I think he has the potential to be a really, really, really good advanced 8 or even a 10. And I know the 10 thing's mad, but the more you see him operating in and around the box, right? I think that's where he's at his best. I personally, I've been pushing this for over a year now. I would like Rico Lewis to be loaned out for a season to a team that will play him in midfield. Just before we sell him, I want to see him in midfield. I want to see how good he really can be. And I don't think, unfortunately, he's going to get that chance at City.
No.
As a right back, I think he's a really fucking bad fit for Nottingham Forest at right back. Think how Nottingham Forest play, right? The total opposite to us, right? Rico Lewis for us looks good when we have most of the ball, he can sit in their half in midfield in an inverted position, right? At Forest, they don't play like that. They invite people to attack them. They invite people to have most of the ball. And I just think that if Rico Lewis is going there as a right back, he's a stinky fit for Nottingham Forest as a right back. Midfield, completely different ball game. But then you look at their midfield, they've got Morgan Gibbs-White. They've now got McAtee. I think they've just bought someone else, another midfielder there as well.
Didn't they get the fellow we were briefly linked with from Monaco?
Yes.
Can't remember his name. Yeah.
But I'm confused at where he would sit there. Because like I said, Rico Lewis is a right back for Nottingham Forest. I don't think he's a good fit at all. It's completely opposite to how he's used to playing at City. Ultimately, Forest like to be attacked so they can counter. That's not Rico. That's not Rico at all. But apparently, from what I read, and again, I'm only going by what I've read, he's failed to come to an agreement with City over a new deal.
Rico has.
Yeah.
But I mean, when did he sign his renewal? When did he sign his renewal? That was about 12 months ago, wasn't it?
Well, people have been saying for quite a while, if that is true, then I've got a link to him.
Yeah, just having a look here. Forest are moving mad at the moment. So they're getting McAtee. They're keen on Rico Lewis. they've just agreed a deal with Ipswich to get a Murray Hutchinson for 37 million. And then the guy that they're getting from Monaco is that Arnaud Calamwendo, I think it is.
Right, yeah.
Who's meant to don't know much about him, but he has had a bit of scouting about him. They said he's meant to have meant to be a very, very good player. So
yeah, I think the other thing is as well, if you look at what was said the other day by a journalist, they were talking about right back options and basically saying that, and it was a journalist that's close with Pep, said they haven't managed to find anyone that fits the right mold. And so they're happy to go into the season with, I think they listed Nunes, Akanji or Stones at right back. So Rico actually wasn't even put in the list, which is interesting. I don't know. It's intriguing on that. But anyway, right. 32 minutes in, 286 people watching. Please make sure you are smashing the like button. Let's get those likes up over the 200 mark if we can. 133 likes. Come on, people. We can get them over 150. Right. Wolves today. Excited? I'm sure you are. Nervous? Maybe?
Yep. Glad it's up and running again. Another 9 months of misery for everybody else except for myself in the household. So, yeah, look, Wolves away. One of those fixtures that I'm kind of glad that we're having a match day one, to be honest. I think while we're still trying to find our form, they'll be finding their form as well. So I think balance of power probably shifts to us. I think we should have enough, despite a bit of rust and things like that. We should have enough to get over the line against them anyway. But never rule out a team who, sort of were at times they're scraping through to stay above the drop zone. They'll want to do everything in their power to try and have a good start to the season, so they're not in a stressful position for the rest of the season. So always be careful when you go there. It can be tricky, but I'm confident enough in what I've seen over the last few weeks to say that we should get the job done against this Wolves side. But again, you go back to, I think it was treble season, we played West Ham away. And you remember West Ham were the season before that. I remember when the draw came out, I remember saying to Martin, I said, West Ham away is a sort of fixture that I'm glad we get over and done with after match day one. And I think Wolves away might be one of those ones that we might be glad that it's happening now rather than, say, happening in October, November if we're starting to...
We went 1-0 down, didn't we? I'm sure we did. Treble season, West Ham away.
No, we won 2-0. No, Haaland scored a pen. 2-0.
And then I remember.
No, you're talking. No. You're talking about. You're talking about.
Actually, I'm talking about the season after the treble. I'm talking about four-peat season. Yeah, you're right. I'm talking about four-peat season. Yeah.
That's right.
I am.
Doku was like Doku's first big standout game for us.
Came on in the second half and changed it completely. Yeah. That was sorry. The season before we played West Ham. You're right. Treble season, Haaland. I think, look, any away game for me, any away game on the opening day of the season is never an easy game. Actually, do you know what? Let's stop talking on this second. Did you watch Liverpool yesterday?
No, I haven't yet.
Okay, well, 4-2 flatters them massively flatters them. Now, I've been saying it all summer. Yeah, it's great, all the players they're getting going forward, but defensively, they need to strengthen. I can tell you, Kirkes had an absolute stinker of a game.
Really?
Really fucking bad. Really bad. Got subbed off for Robertson. Frimpong got brought off for Endo. And then Endo, about 10, 15 minutes later, had to move into midfield and they brought on Gomez at right back because Endo at right back wasn't working. So they look defend. Oh, and as for Kanate...
So on game day one, you're already starting to stretch the depth of your centre-backs.
Yes. I'm telling you now, Kanate looked shocking. Absolutely shocking. One of the worst games I've seen from Kanate. Kanate is really interesting. Kanate can head the ball all day long. Run at Kanate... and he's all over the place. He was blowing out his arse. Their squad doesn't look balanced at all. And I'm telling you, by the way, actually also, credit to Bournemouth. Bournemouth looked proper. Bournemouth looked like a team that has spent the summer well-drilled, really well-drilled, and playing some really good football in the second half. But Liverpool got lucky. They got very lucky. They scored their third in, I think, the 85th minute, and then they scored the other one in about the 90th minute. And literally, bro, this comment right here. it looked like a Liverpool defence that thought, we're that fucking good, we don't need to do anything, right?
Yeah.
Our aura is enough. Literally, that is exactly the way it was. I mean, honestly, I've said that as far as Konate, Van Dijk, probably the best centre-back partnership in the league, maybe Gabriel and Saliba as well, right? But yesterday, it did not look that way. Konate looked shocking, and Frimpong and Kirkes look like you can get down their sides. I mean, I worry about us in the fullback position, right? They looked absolutely awful. They got very lucky, very, very lucky as well. And and as well, you should be ashamed the fan that was racially abusing Semenyo as well. Yeah. On a day, do you know what? On a day that it was all about Diogo Jota, right?
From what I've seen at the COP, and fair play to the COP, the tribute they did for Diogo Jota was amazing. Yeah. But then to have that, it's just such a dark cloud, over what should be a very somber day.
That's it. That when it's about how good the fans were from the Diogo Jota thing, to then have that, it's like you ruined it ultimately. Yeah. Like you know, it's a shame. But the one thing we'll say, Ekitike looks like an absolute handful.
He does look good. Yeah,
he looked good. He looked very good. And Bert's pretty quiet. First half, lost the most duels on the pitch. And we will be watching Verts very, very closely because, trust me, we know that all of our players are going to be watched. Yeah, and I agree with this as well. Doku will be licking his lips at the thought of facing Frimpong.
Yes.
But I'll be honest.
I'm getting Sane against Trent vibes.
Listen, if Bob will be licking his lips at the thought of facing Kirkes as well. Right, so let's talk today for us. It looks like we know that James Trafford's going to start in goal. Right-hand side, we thinking Nunes face his old team.
I'm thinking Nunes. The usual me thinks John Stones should be there. As always.
Like what Stones
as always.
on the right?
Yeah, I think we're just going to have to be a bit. I'm kind of intrigued to see what the back four is going to be because. Gvardiol's out injured, so we need to look at the left-sided from the left-sided defense first. Now, Nouri first game in a City shirt, competitive City shirt. Well, technically, first league game is away at Molineux, so that could be interesting as well.
Well,
who's going to fill?
We could be going there with both our fullbacks being ex-Wolves players. The one thing we know from Nunes, I think it might be a bit different with Nouri because the way Nunes left wasn't great, but. They give Nunes a hard time. They give Nunes a really hard time.
Well, as I've always said, if Wolves fans actually did the research, they'd realise that the money we spent for Nunes actually kept them inside FFP regulations. So you're welcome. You're welcome. Look, I think that back four is going to be very interesting. Like, maybe we'll see a start from Kusanov. Maybe we'll see John Stones on the right. Who knows? Yeah, we'll have to. Remains to be seen. But there's going to be some interesting moves and some interesting players. I think starting this game. You're a brave man if you're able to pick the lineup and get it right. So, I'm more intrigued to see what that defense is going to be like. I think whatever we do in midfield and attack is going to be stacked anyway. Yeah, whether it's Nico G, Reinders, Cherky, or Foden, I'm looking forward to seeing who it's going to be. I do hope Oscar Bob starts though.
Well, that's the one that I was about to move on to. I really, really, really hope Oscar Bob starts. Martin's joining. Martin's going to be here shortly, people. Palermo. It was just so refreshing watching Oscar Bob. I think if we're looking at it right, Savio's injured. I think Oscar Bob will be starting for me.
Yep, I think so.
Hello, mate. Martin.
Evening. Apologies. Nightmare morning.
That's right.
I'll explain why it's here.
Hope everything's okay, most importantly. Smash a like for Martin, people.
It's right, okay now. It's okay now.
Yeah?
It wasn't okay. But it is now.
Right. But it is okay now.
Yes. Yeah.
Good. Right, Martin. Right back. What we saying? What we saying? Who do you reckon?
Boy.
He wants to say Stones, but
I want to say
I'd
Stones.
love-
I'm going to go Nunes.
You think Nunes, yeah?
Yeah, I do want to say Stones on, but
And for anyone saying you can't see Martin, Martin's camera's currently off. So while his camera's off, I'm just going to leave it like this because it's easy enough, right? He's here, trust me. He's the voice from above. If you do want to turn your camera on, let me know, Martin. So you think Nunes? I just was thinking Nunes gets a real bad welcome from that Molineux crowd.
that's what makes me think Stones.
Yeah.
But I don't
Stones
think
scored the winner there last year.
we won't need to be that defensive there today.
See, right, yeah, okay. So I was gonna say what I mean, I'd love it if opening game of the season I get a Aitnouri, Diaz, Stones, Kuzanov back four, right? I would be over the moon. However, I do hear what you're saying that against Wolves, save Kuzanov because I do worry that every time Kuzanov plays, he's going to get a card, and let's save him for maybe the Tottenham, the Arsenal, the Man United games.
Rico Lewis farewell game.
Rico, right? So where you are on this? Because do you think Rico's going?
Yes, he wants to move.
Yeah,
Desperate for the
That's what I
move, and I think it will get done.
Where do you think they'll play him?
I don't know because when I look at the Forest team, I'm like, you're walking into the not as much traffic, but you are walking into a similar problem.
Yeah,
because Forest midfield, McAtee, Elliot Anderson, Gibbs White,
yep,
and obviously Ollie Einer at right back. But I did have a theory on this.
Yeah, go on.
This is one of my wild theories. It's not what I've heard. Wild theory.
Yeah.
If we do 2 deals with Forest, and I think we can safely say we might have an issue with homegrown.
Yeah.
In 12 months.
Yeah.
Maybe we're sweetening a deal.
Gibbs White 26.
What?
Yeah. MGW 26.
Yeah.
Morgan Gibbs White, for fuck's sake, it won't go away.
And by the way, even Wolfie was thinking. I was talking to Wolfie and me and Wolfie both.
No, I hear it.
It stinks of it.
It seems. Listen, do you know what? If you think about Mr. Marinakis, aka dodgy bastard, right?
We don't mind him though because he hates Gary Neville.
And he hates Daniel Levy.
True, yeah.
I could see us and him getting on quite well. And maybe you're right that he said, you know what, yeah, maybe that is something. Maybe then Morgan Gibbs White next summer. Maybe once Gundogan goes, maybe Kovacic and Gundogan go, Morgan Gibbs White comes in next summer. That would make sense. But Martin, I was just saying, Rico Lewis does not suit right back for Forest at all, does he?
No,
like the worst mold for a Forest right back, like Forest, who,
he's not a Nuno Santos fullback anyway. Maybe he's going to change his style. I don't know. There seems to be a lot of this managers changing styles going around at the minute.
Yeah, maybe I have seen that.
But no, I'd say I wish him all the best. Again. We'll get into it later, but I think that's where I think there was a little bit of misunderstanding. That's what I meant with Bob the other day. I love Bob. I want Bob to make it 1,000%. But this was my worry. It seems to be a lot of the young lads are like, well, I'm not going to play minutes, so
but Martin,
I'll jump.
The same thing, but Savio going leaves space for Oscar Bob. This is the bit that I didn't get.
Yeah.
With Savio going.
No. I think what it is I think you think Oscar Bob will get more minutes than I think. I think that's where
he will because I don't think we've got that much on the right.
Martin, don't you think these moves are sort of proving that?
Yeah.
That his numbers are going to go up? His minutes are going to go up? Do you think that they're finally starting to move the pieces so that they can finally get Oscar Bob up to where they want him to be in terms of his seniority in the squad, where they want him to, where they project him to be now, and also where they project him to be in the next few years?
Personally, no. But I hope they do. I pray they do.
I just think, like, because if we're looking at who can play on the
I'll
right
explain it
side,
when we go through the 11. We'll have a look at the right wing.
Because
it'll be intriguing who puts Oscar Bob on
because
the right wing.
for me, from what I saw, right, against Palermo, Oscar Bob and Cherky works, right? Oscar Bob and Cherky works on the right-hand side, both of them, 100%. We've seen it now, right?
Just very good link up. Yeah.
For me, Cherky is not a winger. Like, and like, I think anyone that's watched Cherky would agree. Cherky is not a winger. Sticking Cherky out on the wing is the worst thing we could do, right? So I'm not putting Cherky as a winger for me. Foden, all right, based on previous seasons, Pep likes to play Foden there at times, but again, that's more on the left than it is on the right.
I disagree with that. I think Foden's more on the right than the left.
Do you know, it's probably actually equal with him when you think about it, because I'm thinking of some standout games on the left.
If I'm honest with you, Dad, say what it is to me. I'm doing it on the presumption Rodrigo comes in, and Rodrigo will probably play 55 out of 70 games.
See, right, so you're thinking, but here's the thing for me, right? I personally think there's two ways we can play. There's when you're playing holding the width, or when you're playing and you're not holding the width. Very simple, right? If you're holding the width, then I would go with Bob on the right, and I'd probably go with Rodrigo on the left, right? I wouldn't go with Marmoush if I'm holding the width. But I think this is the thing. And this is what I was trying to say the other day, that we're really, really, really doing best 11s at this point, and we need to be thinking about a long season. Remember, just think of last season, right? But it's not only a long season, it's a long season where players are not going to want to be rushed back or played if they're slightly injured or carrying a knock because of that World Cup. So many players are going to be like, nah. I don't like, they're not going to be taking risks, because if they take a risk, and I think with Oscar Bob, he's the key of that. It's like, he's one of the main ones of that. He's only just come back from an injury. He will be in that Norway team as if he's fit. So I think he's going to want to stay fit. I don't know. Let's do today though. So we're saying at the moment, are we saying Nunes at right?
Yeah, I've got Nunes at right, even though you made a great point about he always has a stinker against Wolves. I don't know why, but he does. And I always remember the he had last year when they just booed him out of town, and it seemed to really bother him.
Yeah. But so let's say, because I do think you're right about the having the ball. So are we saying based on that it would be a Diaz and Stones partnership, or do we think Kuzanov gets a start?
Go on, Pat.
I might actually go with Kuzanov in a way, because I think if you want, we have to understand now the days of Kyle Walker being able to having a player there with the speed that can diffuse situations. And let's be honest, there are going to be some erratic passes from both sides today. They'll be shaking off a lot of rust and things like that. So there'll be a lot of opportunities there for teams to break. And for me, I just think you want that sort of insurance cushion if Ruben Diaz is going to start. So for me, I think, if Kuzanov were to start, I think it wouldn't. I would have no issues with it whatsoever. I think it'd be the sensible one just to cover, or just to save face for the defense basically until everybody gets up to speed for the season.
Yeah. What about Akanji? Because I was on with Sheikh on Thursday, and he was saying he reckons Pep's going to find a way to get Akanji in this starting 11.
Yeah, he could find a way. I just can't see it.
I think it's more for me. I don't want it, to be honest with you. The
other reason I want John Stones to start as well too is we're only playing every 7 days, so you can't really freak out too much about injuries or him playing every 3 days. So he's fine for now.
Do you know what I'm going to say? I personally feel with John Stones now has to be one of. Sorry, John. I know you probably want to go to the World Cup, but for me, if John Stones is fit, like let's just play him. Let's not protect him no more. Like I'm sick of protecting him. Like if he's fit and we need him to start, he should start for me. Because
if he's fit and he starts, he can be that he can be that X factor that you have in the midfield, that extra body, that fills the spaces, fill the gaps. And we've seen him before in so many games when he's done that. It's just he makes you feel like you've got a 12th man on the pitch.
Yeah, 100, and without Rodri as well, by the way, that's very important. Very important.
Yeah.
Right, do we think, talking without Rodri, Martin, is Nico Gonzalez going to start today?
I would like to think so.
Martin, is Nico Gonzalez going to start today?
Yeah. You can see my face right now.
Martin, are we gonna see midfield of Reinders, Gundogan, and Bernardo Silva?
Well, when we get to the Bob,
you're lucky Kovacic is injured.
When we get to the right wing situation, this is where I'm going with that, and this is what everyone has forgotten about.
All right, so you're saying it's going to be a midfield of, I think what you're going to do here is a midfield of Gundogan, Reinders, and Cherki.
No, I think it will be Nico J. I think it will.
Good, right? Thank you. That's what I need to hear.
I think it will.
That's what I need.
I hope it'll be. By the way, Rodri has trained. He's in the squad and travelled down. So, we've got to be careful when Pep says injured. Moving forward, it's game time, I think.
The one thing I would say with Gundogan starting, actually, is right now, start of the season, from what I've seen of Gundogan in pre-season, I'm not mad at Gundogan starting, I personally want to see Nico Gonzalez and Reinders.
I don't have a problem with either of them, Daps. I think this year I'm just surmising.
I do with Bernardo on the right. Let me be clear.
I think people have a problem. In the middle of the park, if you're playing them all together
on the right, and it's Bernardo on the right. I don't want to see Bernardo Silva on the right. Let him play as an engine in the middle of the park, by all means, right? But Bernardo on the right.
You can't fit Doku in as well somewhere along these lines.
Why do we have to fit Doku in? Why can't Doku be off the bench? I think that's
I think Doku's super sub at the moment.
Yeah,
because
that's what I'll be going with.
I'd be starting Mamouche on that left. Yeah. Starting Mamouche on the left and then bring Doku in against weak legs in the last 30 minutes.
That's what I want. I would like,
regardless of what the score is. It doesn't matter what the scoreline is.
Yeah. I'd be going with Mamouche on the left, Haaland in the middle, and Bob on the right for me. I think Foden's still carrying a little knock from he had a knock the other week, didn't he? So I wouldn't start Foden. I'd leave Foden and Doku on the bench. Start Cherki, Reinders, Nico Gonzalez, Bob. Yeah,
so do you not see Doku starting a lot of games?
I don't see Doku starting a lot of games this season. No, I don't. I see Doku being an impact player.
I don't see Doku being long for this world then at Manchester City then.
I wouldn't disagree with you that I think this might be Doku's last season at City.
Yeah, like you said, because again, the argument it's the same argument for every player in it. World Cup year, they're going to want to play for the country. And it ain't going to help coming off the bench for 20 minutes, for any player.
Well, I disagree. I think actually for Belgium, Doku's close to having his position nailed on, Doku's a starter for Belgium regularly. I think at City, he'd be getting numbers off the bench. I think he'll still come on and impact games and get numbers off the bench. I think Doku will be in that World Cup team for Belgium anyway. So he's one of the ones that I actually think, as long as he's getting some sort of game time at City, and you've got to remember, this is a long season and there's a lot of competitions. He is going to get game time at City, but I think in the league, I'd have him off the bench as an impact player, me.
The trouble is, this is what I'd love to get in the minds of players. I think we all would. Savio played well over 3,000 minutes. And even he's ditching because he's scared about it.
That one's mad for me. I personally think, like I've said from the start, I think he's seen a pecking order, and I think he knows that Bob's ahead of him in the pecking order.
I think that's the problem. I don't think this is about the minutes. This is, where am I in your lineup? And this is why I don't mean trying to do, like you said, best 11. I'm doing it. I think in a player's mind, they're thinking when it comes to a cup final, when it comes to Bernabeu, am I in your plans?
And I think
And if they know they're not, they might as well. I think they're just seeing their ass a bit, really, aren't they? Let's be straight.
Yeah, that's it. That is it. It's the same. Look, same thing as Jadon Sancho. He saw his ass because he knew that Foden would start over him and he left, right? Same with Ferran Torres. Ferran Torres saw his ass and left. If someone doesn't, and I'll be honest, if James Trafford sees his ass and goes, then do you know what? It's shit. I'm going to keep saying I don't like the way he's been treated, but I want Manchester City to have the best players, right? It's questionable about if Donnarumma is actually the best player for the way we play. That is very questionable. But I don't know. The more I've deeped it, when I listed the midfield, I said Nico Gonzalez, Reinders,
It's got to be
Turkey.
It's got to be
Turkey.
Reinders.
But then I do see what you're saying, that Bernardo Silva's starting today. He's captain. He's going to start the first game, right? Fucking Bernardo's going to be on the right, isn't he?
Yeah, I'll be honest.
God.
I don't. Do you know what scares me? Back quick, and I don't want to keep saying back to it. But if Oscar Bob ain't starting today, when we're starting him, because these are the games you would think Oscar Bobbers are going. Wolves away, and it's the Bernardo. It could be Doku. I don't know. It's especially if you play Nunes. If you're playing, because of this one, if you play Nunes as a fullback. Do you need a Doku and a Bob on the right, or do you need a more pragmatic winger? Because Nunes is the guy who's going to do the overlap balls then.
Yeah.
So, because that's why I always like to look at who's behind.
Yeah, I think you're right. If Nunes is starting, then there's more chances of playing maybe a Bernardo. Well, I think if Nunes is starting, we will see. We'll see Bernardo on the right wing, but he won't be on the right wing.
Yeah, he'll cut in.
I think he'll almost. Do you know what? Actually, I'll be honest. Right, let me change this. If Nunes starts, I think we'll see Cherki as a right winger because he won't be on the wing, right? And then Bernardo might be part of a midfield with Reinders and Nico Gonzalez. And I'm not as mad at that. I'm all right with that.
Do you think they've got set positions? And this is about. Do you think there are set positions across that front 3, 4, whatever, or do you think it is going to be like we saw in the first half against Palermo, where they're very interchangeable? Because Cherki was sort of right wing 10, 8, 6.
Nah, Cherki.
They were all over the shop.
Nah. Cherki was in what's it called? But Cherki was literally in that first half. Cherki was in like a right midfield position, but he was allowed to go wherever the hell he wanted. I mean, listen,
that's what I mean.
Ait Nouri was all over the gaff. Ait Nouri was popping up all over the place that game. That was mad. Have you seen what Pep said about Ait Nouri being able to play the 10 role?
Don't. I read that and just I got the image of like the mad scientist in his experiment room.
Do you think he's doing that as banter? Yeah, because he knows that he's taken so many players that aren't left backs and turned them into left backs. That he thought, yeah, I'll go and buy a left back and then tell everyone I'm going to turn them into a 10.
No, I actually don't think he was doing it for banter.
You think Pep's here? For fuck's sake, Pep.
Because when I did the watch along for the friendly, I went, is Ait Nouri going to play left back at any point today, or is he just avoiding that area? So at one point, he was stood next to Nico Gield in his hand.
It's just such a City thing to do, isn't it? To go and get a left back and then actually go, nah, do you know what? We ain't going to play him as a left back. It's just like, for fuck, we give up. Give up on left backs at this point. Give up. Do you know what? The more I think about that, I don't mind if we're playing with Nunes. Yeah, I really want to see Bob, but I've got to drop my player FC because if I'm not careful, I'm going to be called Bob FC soon because I really am like I want to see Bob. I want Bob in that starting.
I think we've all got to do that, and even I've done that lately. I think what I've realised in the last 10 days was this is now about the badge on, which it should have really always been. I get it. Yeah. And I know we love the players, but the badge on the front, the name on the badge is bigger than any name on the back.
Yeah, so I'm not mad.
I've had to realise that.
if we have Nico Gonzalez, Reinders, Bernardo Silva, and then Marmoush, Haaland, Cherky, and have Nunes as right back, Ait Nouri as left back. So Nunes and Ait Nouri are holding the width. And then maybe a cheeky little Kuzinov and Diaz partnership. So we got a bit of pace at the back. I'm
actually going with Kuzinov. I'm going to go with Kuzinov and Diaz today.
Yeah,
I'm for that.
I've just come up with, so I'm gonna put on the South Stand Instagram shortly. Steve sent me his team. I'm gonna put my team up there. I think I've just come up with it there. Steve has gone with. Bear with me. Let me just find it. So Steve has gone with Ederson, Ait Nouri, Diaz, Stones, Kuzinov, Reinders, Nico Gonzalez, Bernardo, Marmoush, Haaland, Cherky. Fucking hell, very similar to mine.
Apart from
Ederson, and I won't be playing Stones.
You all know the new Trafford starting, haven't you?
Yeah. Trafford starting. Yeah. Mike, just before we wrap up, so actually we're going to do predictions at the end. What's your take on Ederson? Where you are with Ederson? So it looks like we've just got a bid of 10 million for him.
Yeah. Well, I'm presuming he was at the CFA last night and was travelling. I presume he's travelled.
See, someone said he's not travelling, but I think he will have travelled.
He was at the, when they all go to the CFA the night before, they did that stay over. They were not, he was there, he was happy,
right?
He was smiling, he was involved, he was training, he's done it all. Everything pre-match you can get pre-match.
Okay. Do you think
the bid's now come?
Goes?
Yes, I do think he goes. Yeah.
You do, yeah. Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, because the bid's come now. The bid's now come.
Yeah. Right, predictions. Patrick, what are you going with?
3-1.
3-1 City. Yeah, no clean sheet.
No.
I'm not mad at that.
Ooh.
Martin, what are you predicting, Martin?
3-0. And I'm going to sing my heart out for the boys down there.
Yeah. You sure you don't want to sell your ticket?
I need to go after this morning.
Yeah, no, you go, mate. And my daughter's just got back, so I need to spend some time with my daughter anyway.
Are you going Brighton away? I'm going Brighton away as well.
So I go Marrakesh on. So I go Marrakesh. Oh, so next weekend I can't do Tottenham because I'm in Marrakesh, and then the weekend after that is Mike from Leicester's birthday. So there's about 40 of us going to Chester races. So I'm not
going to be Judy Chalmers.
So you need to do a vlog, mate. You need to do a vlog. Mike from Leicester, rocking out in Chester.
Oh, I will do. And some of the lads there are absolute nut jobs as well. So it's going to be a very it's basically the whole of Wythenshawe. So right.
Do you not like staying in England anymore?
The old Civic Centre.
Mate, I do, and I'm so sick of. Honestly, all I want to do. I was telling my other half this yesterday. All I want to do is just be old and just literally, like, I'm done with. But it's just mates' birthdays and whatever just keep popping up. So,
Dabs, I'm at a point where I'm starting to think I'm at a point where I do more time in the UK than you do.
Has anyone heard from Alan? Because I do you know when the Rico news come out, I was like, oh God, Alan's going to go.
Yeah, I've heard from him. I haven't heard from him about Rico yet. I'm sure he's livid. But
that's what I mean.
But for me, right, I'm going. So Martin, I'm not going to be. I think the first game I'm going to go to is going to be the derby, mate. To be honest with you,
it's not a bad first game to turn up.
Not bad first game, no. But because realistically, I can't get to any of the games in August, and then we've got the international break. So I just can't wait to find out the European aways. I can't wait for that. Right, people.
I think we have to do a watch along for that.
Yeah. So Martin.
Yes.
So you're saying what score?
3-0. I actually will keep a clean sheet.
I'm convinced JMCFC is Martin at this point because he's just predicted 3-0 as well. You and him are too similar.
No.
You and him are too similar. That's your alter ego. I'm confirming it. Right. And I am going to go with, for me, I'm going to go with 2-1 City. 2-1 City. And listen, that is my first prediction I don't usually do predictions. If this one goes wrong, I promise you I will not be doing any predictions again for the rest of the season. But
can I trick you
2-1
both for different prediction? You may have already talked about this.
Come.
With Rico going,
Yeah.
and the way we're behaving now.
Yeah.
I'm saying now, obviously. Can you rule out a right back?
Nah, I've got to be consistent. I've been saying all summer I would rather we get a right back than we go and get Rodrigo. So I'm still going to say the same. I'd rather we go and get a right back than Rodrigo. I still think.
Oh, by the way, I do think Rodrigo and Donnarumma both get done now. I do think they both get done. Yeah.
The way the way Tottenham are actually really seem keen on Savio, I'm starting to think it might happen as well.
Yeah.
And the way Pep mentioned Tottenham, Pep actually mentioned Tottenham in his presser, which he doesn't know. And he also mentioned the Saudi League, which was very okay.
Right, well, people, we are going to wrap up here. Please remember to make sure you go and check OK Jerseys to get your football shirts. As soon as I get mine from there, my latest ones, that is, I will be wearing them on the show to show you the quality. Martin, have a good time at the game. I am going to be doing a watch along on this channel. I will be starting at round about 4:30. So make sure you're here with me. Yeah, and listen, Martin, did you watch Liverpool yesterday, by the way?
Parts of it, I thought they were wide open, like I predicted they would be.
Yep. Agreed.
I'll be honest with you, the way Liverpool played yesterday is how I'm predicting we're both going to play this season. I think we'll both be like that.
Yeah, I hear it. Right, people, we are on the way out. Catch us back here at 4:30. Everyone have a good day. Pat, thanks for joining me as well. Really appreciate it as always. And,
pleasure, mate. Thank you.
Everyone have a good day. Football's back.